Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Daily Debate. My name is Ahmed Nader, and tonight we are going to focus on the social protection programs that were implemented during the past 9 or 10 years under the tenure of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and more specifically under the current economic situation for the entire globe, and not just for Egypt and Africa, but for the world in general, especially after the coronavirus pandemic took hold in terms of a catastrophic circumstance in 2020 and 2019, of course. And we will be focusing on the social protection programs that were executed and implemented in cooperation with the Cabinet, the Ministry of Interior, and of course the National Council for Women as well, to be targeting the young men, the young women, and the women in general in the Egyptian society over the past 9 or 10 years. And I'm honored to be having with me in the studio for tonight to be focusing on such an important topic for the present and the future of the country is Engineer Amany, Shennawy, the chemical engineer and the member of the Civil Society International Service Organization and the graduate of the Strategic Studies and the National Security Training course. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Anytime. We will be starting straight away with the top stories for today. As I mentioned, that the Ministry of Interior is cooperating in terms of having social protection programs to be serving the Egyptian people. And today we are celebrating the 72nd anniversary of the Police Day, as Egypt celebrated on Thursday the 72nd anniversary of the Police Day, which embodies the values of sacrifice and loyalty, as well as the solidarity of the police and people to protect the nation's security and independence. Policemen were keen on celebrating the occasion with the citizens in the streets and squares where they exchanged the greetings and gifts. They also accompanied the school students on board of the open buses which roamed Cairo streets. Citizens expressed their gratitude for the patriotic role of the Egyptian police throughout the ages in laying the foundation of stability. And as Egypt is celebrating the 72nd anniversary of the Police Day, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has earlier attended a celebration marking the anniversary of the Police Day at the Police Academy. Addressing the event, President al-Sisi said that the occasion marks a great day in the Egyptian history and praised the policemen's sacrifices in protecting Ismailia Governorate in 1952. The president reiterated that Egypt is facing dangerous challenges across the borders, pointing out that there are attempts to incite the public opinion against the state. The head of state asserted that he understands the sufferings that the Egyptians face due to the tough economic conditions and promised to exert more efforts to ease the burdens on all the Egyptians. Concerning the regional developments, President al-Sisi stressed the Egyptian constant support to the Palestinian cause and vowed to continue providing Gaza with the humanitarian aid through the Rafah border crossing. And for the third item of the top stories for tonight, marking Police Day celebrations, First Lady Intisar al-Sisi greeted all the people and said that such an occasion reminds the Egyptians of the glories and the heroism of its men. On her official social media page, the First Lady wrote that she salutes the mothers of the martyrs who sacrificed their most precious for the nation to live in security and stability. We will be returning to the main topic and the main headline for the daily debate for tonight, which focuses on the social protection programs which were implemented over the past 9 or 10 years under the tenure of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and more specifically targeting rural development. In the upcoming report we have more details, so stay tuned.
Social protection is defined as a set of measures adopted by states to provide a minimum of protection mechanisms against economic, social, and environmental risks facing families or individuals, especially the vulnerable groups, Such measures also aim at providing basic social services for all in light of the principle of equal opportunities and social justice. Internationally, the United Nations and other international organizations paid special attention to efforts to enhance social protection. Such attention falls under the framework of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs 2030. As social protection is related to two SDGs, namely Goal 1, end poverty in all its forms everywhere, and Goal 10, reduce inequality within and among countries. In Egypt, providing an integrated system of social protection is on top of the SDGs in Egypt's Vision 2030. The state has presented various forms of support and empowerment for the neediest groups through launching several programs and initiatives of social protection. Egypt's legislative structure facilitates social action, expand its scope, and unify the efforts of non-governmental organizations, NGOs, under one umbrella in order to become fundamental in the path toward comprehensive development. Such a structure shall also be a model for integrating the state's efforts with civil society in social protection, to interlink efforts, optimize resources, and implement the priorities aiming at improving citizens' livelihoods, especially in rural communities and remote areas. The Information and Decision Support Center, IDSC, highlights the available potential to promote social protection efforts in Egypt through tackling social protection maps in Egypt, its transformations and challenges, discussing legislative reforms in this regard, and foresee mechanisms of maximizing the impact of social protection.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and I'm honored to be having with me in the program for tonight Engineer Amany Shennawy. Thank you very much for being with us tonight once again. Of course, we are speaking today and we are focusing on the social protection programs and the initiatives that we have seen under the tenure of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. How impressive were those programs in your opinion, especially in such a tight space of time?
I'm very happy to be with you in this very special day, our Police Day. This is very inspiring to have all those initiatives coming after each other, the Decent Life, the We Are All One, yes, and all the initiative, the presidential initiative, and making all this impact in this very short time.
Yes, a very short time as well, but we have economic challenges, as we did see today, the statements made by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi during attending the 72nd anniversary of the Police Day at the Police Academy, speaking about the economic challenges that we have here in the country, and he feels what the people are going through. What is the importance of this link between the political leadership and the people in terms of feeling the economic conditions, what is going on, how can we be making it better for the Egyptian people? And this was a promise made by the President today.
The President is always feeling how the people are going on, and this shows in the Decent Life initiative, which started in the year 2019 and already made a great impact in the rural areas. If you start with the cities, you can see the progress in a very clear way. Now that I'm as a member of an NGO, yes, I know quite well how hard it is to start with the rural areas, and this is the brilliant idea of having the President feeling how the people feel and how we want to develop everywhere in Egypt, not only in the cities.
Yes, you've mentioned that you are in this field of helping people and helping the Egyptians. You've mentioned that we have targeted the rural areas. thousands of villages through Haya Karima or a Decent Life initiative. On the other hand, the people that you are dealing with, how do they see those initiatives, those programs? How can they be seeing the benefits of those programs as soon as possible?
Actually, my work is always administrative. So I always work with numbers, with statistics, I see the plans before they're done, the community assessments. So it is a very inspiring and very an excellent impact to have all those numbers coming in such a short time. People are on the TV in the rural areas everywhere are always saying that they are very happy having water in their houses. You can feel how touchy it is to see a house that was not having water and they see the water started to be in their house. People having wastewater in a decent way, I mean the sanitation. This is very important to have good health for Egyptian. Everything is connected.
Yes.
Everything is connected to have a good, decent life. So the development is very well felt in rural areas and of course in cities like in Upper Egypt. They started, the Haya Karima is developing also cities after finishing a great number of villages. Sohag, the numbers of houses that are developed, houses with, we're almost 100% having water, houses are having water. The last statistics I had were 99%, so we're almost 100%. So this is very inspiring.
Yes, very impressive. How do you think those services being provided for the Egyptian citizens could be changing and altering their future?
If you have people having a decent life, having good education, having good job opportunities, good vocational service if they are entrepreneurs, for example. So you're having developed people who can earn their bread, and you'll find everything is getting better and developed, and we can have our food. We can have security, social security, and social, I mean, national security is having your food cultivated, your food, you have factories that produce the food for people, not everything is imported. And this gives job opportunities. So everything leads to the other. All the development lead to better development.
Yes, of course, as today we are celebrating the 72nd anniversary of the Police Day, we should be speaking about the role of the Ministry of Interior in this initiative, We Are All One or Kulluna Wahid, to be speaking more about the reduced prices that the commodities are being sold to the citizens. What is the importance of this initiative and the coordination and the cooperation of the Ministry of Interior to be helping the Egyptian citizens?
Our Interior Affairs, Ministry of Interior Affairs initiated this initiative, We Are All One or Kulluna Wahid in Arabic, in the year 2018. It's an initiative that helps people find their needs. This is a very brilliant initiative also,
yes.
Because it is a win-win situation. The Ministry of Interior Affairs is making a deal with the suppliers, the very big suppliers, to give discounts on goods that people need. So people find their goods in the sale point, and the suppliers benefit too. The suppliers benefit in different ways. As retail, it's very important that people get to know them. So people get to know the suppliers, go to their places, and if the sale point is in the tents that the Ministry of Interior Affairs establish, people go and get their needs in the very discounted prices, and this makes the supplier benefit because he sells his goods very quickly.
Yes.
So this makes him like a wholesaler, not a retail sailor. And this is a win-win situation.
A win-win situation for both
Yes.
the ministry, for the citizens, for the sailors
Yes.
as well, or the sellers. Speaking about the targets of this initiative, We Are All One initiative and those programs, do you think that they have fulfilled all the targets that they were set out to at the beginning, or they are still continuing because we can see the 24th phase of it still going on nowadays?
Yes, it started like, as we said, for getting the goods to people in good prices, and it was very important, the phase that happened through Corona.
Yes.
Because it really helped people to get their goods in good prices and in very near sale points. Yes, it's doing very good during every occasion, during the school, the back to school season. The school tools are sold in very good prices. Now it's the 24th stage, and it happens to be 40%, up to 40% discounts on the goods. So it's very important, and on commodities that are important to people, not only the food, I mean the refrigerators, all the household that the people need, all the goods that the people need for their houses in a very good prices, and as we said, it is a win-win situation.
Yes, under the tenure of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in the past 9 or 10 years, we have seen several health initiatives for the people of Egypt. One of them was to be eradicating hepatitis C or virus C. What is the importance of generally having those initiatives made by the political leadership to be targeting the health of the Egyptians and the Africans as well, because the same initiative was propagated into Africa later on. So what is the importance of having health initiatives for the Egyptians in general, and more specifically the one targeting virus C, which eradicated it in the country?
If we're talking about development, the main element in development is the human being. So to have a good human being in a good condition, you should look for their health and their education.
Yes.
As for health, if we take the initiative of women health, this targets the screening of women.
Yes.
So if you have women free of cancer or tumors, women who are early detected, you won't need to treat them afterwards, those very aggressive treatments with very high prices, and have them not able to work. So it is very important to have women screened. This is, for example, you have the initiative of 100 Health. This is a very brilliant initiative too.
Yes.
You have the initiatives that deal with the mother and child. It's very important to have to know the genetic diseases that the children have, and start facing them before having any more complications. For elderly people too. There are the initiatives, the health initiatives, have elderly people treated and screened and having their medicine.
Yes, at the end of 2019 and at the beginning of 2020, and more specifically in February of March here in Egypt, we have seen the cases of the COVID-19 being going on here in the country, as we have seen it all over the world. How did you see the response of the Egyptian state, of the political leadership, of the cabinet, of the Ministry of Health regarding such a global catastrophe, a global health catastrophe, the response of the Egyptian Ministry of Health, and of course the steps of modernizing the health sector afterwards? How did you see them?
It was an emergency all over the world. We took it in a very scientific way. Awareness was raised. Masks are people are being aware to wear their masks. People worked from home. The government helped everyone to work from home. Also, the treatments, the hospitals, everyone can go to the hospital and have the treatment. Even if people get mild symptoms, they knew what to do. And at the end, it was an emergency that was faced very good in the country, health-wise, and as the living and the needs for people, food. We didn't have any shortages of food, so the health, our health Ministry of Health made a great effort in that and developed the health institutes.
Yes, in the same field, the field of health, and we have seen under the tenure of President Sisi the new health insurance system being applied in various governorates, including Port Said, for example. How do you see such an experiment, and do you think that the health or the new health insurance system could be propagated all over the country in the upcoming years?
Yes, the health insurance system is helping a lot of people to have their treatment, and of course it has to be, people have to be aware that they register themselves and have their health insurance, because sometimes people need to be even treated on the expense of the government.
Yes.
So they have to be under the umbrella of the health security and having their insurance. This is very beneficial for all the people in Egypt and has to be continued.
Yes, one of the steps made in terms of the social protection program, especially after we have seen the economic conditions all over the world regarding the Russian-Ukrainian conflict, the COVID-19 pandemic, and of course nowadays the Israeli assault on Palestine in general and more specifically on Gaza. The economic conditions have been worsening all over the globe. How do you see the important step that we have taken here in Egypt to be raising the pensions and increasing the pensions and the minimum wages as well?
Here the Ministry of Finance is allocating billions of Egyptian pounds to make this happen. So minimum wages are taken care of. The insurance, the insurance on wages is modified. And this took a lot of money from the government, a great plan from the Ministries of Finances and the Ministry of Social Solidarity in order to reach everyone in the right manner.
Yes, how in general do you think that we have succeeded in promoting social justice for the society?
Social justice, if we talk about decent life, it's all about social justice, because it started with the rural areas. If you started with the big cities and developed big cities, you will see the impact. We will all see it quickly. But if you take rural areas, it takes a lot of effort to make the community assessments, to have people in the rural areas have their needs of water, sanitation, houses developed, education, hospitals. You're having a full infrastructure developed. So this is social justice, not because I'm living in a city, I have hospitals and education and schools, but people in rural areas, many rural areas now have their needs of health, hospitals, education. Children don't have to go so far, big distances to go to school. So we help them have good education in order to be good citizens.
Yes, Engineer Amany Shennawy, just allow me to be going to the other report of the daily debate for tonight, which focuses on Takaful and Karama. As we have seen in the first part of the program for tonight, we have focused on We Are All One initiative, Kulluna Wahid, A Decent Life, Haya Karima, two programs and two initiatives that were implemented by the political leadership for the benefit of the Egyptian citizens. We will be focusing right now in the upcoming report on Takaful and Karama for the Women Empowerment, another social protection program. We have more details in the upcoming report, so stay tuned.
The Ministry of Social Solidarity, in cooperation with some ministries and other bodies, began in 2015 to implement two cash support programs with the aim of supporting the poorest groups in the villages of Upper Egypt and in some areas adjacent to the governorates of Cairo and Giza, where some families suffering from extreme poverty. And these two programs are the Takaful program and the Karama program. And the implementation of these two programs is part of the social protection network and the support management system. The two programs, Solidarity and Dignity, have many economic, social and humanitarian goals, as the two programs are mainly directed to two categories. First, it is families that have children enrolled in different stages of education until the secondary stage, or young people who need health care and follow-up, and this category is the category to which the Takaful program is applied. Second, the category of the elderly over 65 years old who are unable to work and do not have fixed sources of income, or the disabled with a disability that prevents them from working and earning and also do not have a fixed income. And this category is the one to which the Karama program is applied. The implementation of the Takaful and Karama programs reflects a deep understanding of the intertwined issue of social justice, which needs to be solved with a radical and comprehensive vision. And the Egyptian government has realized the importance of the issue of social justice and the redistribution of government support to reach its actual beneficiaries, as these two programs will benefit in the first phase more than 500,000 of Egyptians will receive cash support.
Welcome back. You're still watching the daily debate, and I am honored to be having with me in the studio for tonight Engineer Amany Shennawy. As we have seen over the past report, more details regarding Takaful and Karama, specifically made and tailored for the women empowerment. What is the importance of having such an initiative for the women of Egypt nowadays?
If we talk about our demography, we're almost 50% men, 50% women, and we are a youthful country. We have the youth having the greatest percentage. So as for women, if you develop half the society, or if you give them empowerment, if you empower the women, so all the society is empowered. So Takaful and Karama is empowering women through the social insurance. If you know that the 23% of the citizens are having their national insurance, 74% of them are women. So this is very important for women to have their insurance. The new mothers have their maternity leave of 90 days. It's paid. We have a lot of privileges for women in our society.
Yes, as we are approaching the holy month of Ramadan in the beginning of March, or maybe on the 11th of March, how do you see the consumption rates by the Egyptians during the holy month, and what are the tips and the advice that you could be giving to the Egyptian citizens to be rationalizing consumption for the benefit of the whole society?
In Ramadan, we used to have a lot of food. People in Egypt are very generous and have a lot of food on their table.
Yes.
Awareness is raised in this point through NGOs and through the government, of course. That we should have our needs and only our needs. We don't have to have leftovers. So if we always divide the bread and put it in the fridges, if we get our needs, I tell myself also,
Yes.
if we have our needs and if we keep our leftovers in the fridges, it's might be good for the one to have his next day food. Also in Ramadan we're having great charity, and this makes people give to needy people and to their brothers and sisters everywhere. So it's a great month that we have to take care of our economy and make sure that we only get our needs and get it in good prices. We can get it through the We Are All One initiative by our Interior Affairs, the Ministry of Interior Affairs. So we get goods in good prices.
Yes, Engineer Amany, Shennawy, the chemical engineer, the member of the Civil Society International Service Organization and the graduate of the Strategic Studies and the National Security Training course. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
Anytime. And this brings us to the end of the Daily Debate for tonight. Thank you for watching and goodbye.